Have you ever spent most of the day being frustrated, irritated, and mildly depressed? Well, try working out until you're too hot and tired and high on endorphins to be mad. This totally works.
Move, damn you!
What's your name and your age?
My name is Julio Alanya, and I am 32 years of age,
What is your current height and weight?
5'10", and 190 pounds.
And what is your physical background?
Grew up playing baseball, football, soccer. I started to work out when I was actually like around 10 years old, and then eventually I got a weight set when I was like 12.
I understand you trained in pro wrestling for a short while.
I joined late, and do it right now for like the physical activity and for the joy of also being inside the ring. And currently I am very involved with dance. I barely have like 2 years of dance, so I'm getting into modern jazz, also swing dancing, and I'm also getting into tap. I did the Spartan race. This is probably my second Spartan race that I've done. Before that, I've done a mud run. I've also completed 8 marathons. Actually, I did 9. I did 7 LA marathons, and I did 2 over in Las Vegas. You know, it's funny. I'm not a runner. I took up like running some long distances. Because I was under a lot of stress. I didn't think about how far I ran. I didn't think about my body being sore. I just did it.
How often do you work out?
5 to 6 times a week. I think being 30 plus, it's a lot more difficult to find something to like motivate you to continue going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably one of the reasons why I got into dance, because it was something I'm like totally different, like what I was used to.
What is your favorite exercise and why?
My favorite exercise that I've always done, ever since football, was the power press and clean.
What is your least favorite exercise, but why do you still do it?
I don't necessarily like doing lower back exercises, but it also helps you with your core strength. It also helps with your abdominal region, and also your posture too. And also too, it kind of prevents any back injuries, because back injuries in the lower back are very common.
All right. What is the physical feat you're most proud of?
I was 15 years old, and I hiked up Half Dome with a group of people, but then I kind of ended up going by myself. So I made it all the way to the top, and I got worried about everybody else, so I went all the way down, and actually made it all the way to the parking lot, and they weren't there. So then I had to hike back up to go meet them again.
So you conquered Half Dome when you were 15?
Twice.
Okay.
In the same day.
Have you ever had a serious injury or physical setback or recurring injury that you had to work around or adapt to?
I did have a lot of series of back spasms that would actually kind of paralyze me. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. It just hit, and then all of a sudden I just dropped to the floor. I toured it 3 times out of the year, between 15 years old up to 21. They just kind of gone away.
What is the most important part of your diet?
I always try to eat as much protein as I can, but then also too, at the same time, I also try to eat as much of the greens, and also the fiber too and stuff. So
What is the biggest mistake that beginners make when they're just starting out learning something?
wanting to be fabulous on the first step. I think once you realize your abilities and what you can't do, you can actually try to build on what you can't do to try to improve.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten, or just something you think everyone should know?
To enjoy what you do and have fun. And don't stress over the small stuff.
Why do you love it? Why do you keep going?
I do enjoy tap a lot. I guess a big ambition that I have would be to come as close as to Gregory Hines as I could. Also, I do really love swing dancing, and that's a major avenue that I really want to get better at. I have an ambition to do a triathlon. I've always wanted to do an Ironman, hopefully before I hit 50. I have to stay active. I have to keep moving. I don't feel right. Just sitting around, I don't feel right. I'm not doing anything. So, I have to do something.
Woo!